What's up guys, welcome to the 44th Xamarin Android tutorial. So in this video we're going to be taking a look at polylines and polygons. Okay, so the polylines give us a way to draw on Google Maps, okay, and polygons are just using line segments to enclose in a region, an area. Okay, so here you can see that I played around with it and I was able to draw the Xamarin logo using the polygon class. Okay, so just something fun for us to do, and it should give us a really nice feel of how they work and basically the very basics of drawing on Google Maps. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this, and then at the end we're gonna start trying to draw this out, and then we should have something that looks like this at the end of the video. Okay, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you guys is the polylines. Okay, so the way you draw a polyline is you use something called polyline options. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. So polyline options, and then we're gonna draw a rectangle. Okay, so let's go ahead and instantiate a new instance of polyline options, and we'll do add. Okay, so here we're going to just simply draw a rectangle. Okay, so now look at it here, the add method wants a latitude longitude point. Okay, so we'll do new lat long, and we'll do 37.35 negative 122, and then that's going to be our first point, guys. So that's our first point, and if we had just left it that way, it's not going to do anything. Okay, so it needs to, that's our start point, and then now we need to draw a line 37.45. Okay, so that's going to be north. It's a higher latitude, so it's going to be going up, but we're going to have the same longitude. Okay, all right, so at that point, at this very point, what we have is a line, guys. And that's pretty much it. We just have a simple line. Okay, and the way we can add this is we can do polyline, just call it polyline, equals mmap. So we want to take our map and we want to add a polyline. Okay, and we'll add our polyline, and at that simplest point we'll have a line. Okay, so that's all that it takes, and what it does is you can call this and it'll give back our polyline. So it'll give back our line, and then at this point we can do stuff like change the like just get some stuff with it, change like the width of it that our line's going to be, the z-index, the ID. So just a few things that we can get from it. Okay, so if we need to do anything like that. All right, so let's go ahead and finish. We're going to need a few more points to finish up our rectangle. Okay, so this one's going to be at the same latitude. Okay, so it's going to be at the same latitude, but now we're going to want to move east. Okay, so we're going to want to move west. I'm sorry, so we're going to want a smaller number. Okay, and that's going to move west. Okay, so now we're at a point at right here. Okay, so now we need to go down. Okay, so now we need to go 37.35. So we're going to move the line south, and we're going to have the same longitude position here. Okay, now it looks like messed up there. Okay, so now we're here, and then we need to close it off and go east. Okay, so this is going to be our last line to close off and draw our rectangle. Okay, so that's going to be 37. So we want the same latitude. It's not going to move up. We just need to go east, and negative 122 is going to be our longitude position. Okay, and we've already added it to our map. All right, so let's go ahead and run this, guys, and let's see what we got here. Okay, what should happen is it should just draw on the map and then add it to our map, and at that point we should just have something that's just a simple rectangle, really. All right. So let's zoom out a little bit. And it should be right there, okay? So there is our rectangle. Okay, guys? So that's pretty much pretty simple for our polyline options, okay? So once you do it with a polygon, then you can start filling the color and doing a little more with it, okay? And that's basically, and what to draw the polygon is basically the same thing, okay? You're just giving it latitude, longitude points, okay? So what we can do is, let's go ahead and comment that out, this too. And then another cool thing that you can do though, before we start drawing the other, the logo, is you can do something like circle options. Okay, so circle options is, you guess it, to draw a circle. Okay, and then what you can do here, and then is do invoke radius options. And the reason why it's not letting me, of course, is because I already have something named options. So just to give it a more appropriate name, that, and then we could do invoke radius, okay? So you want to give it a radius, which is in meters. Okay. And then finally you can do, let's do a new there. You're going to want to add that now to your map, okay? So simple enough. We can do the same way. We can do mmap.add circle and then circle here. And then it'll feed back a circle object if you want to play around with it. And the last thing we need to do is invoke the center, okay? So the center of the circle is just going to be a lat launch position, okay? So we can do something like that, and that'll give us a circle, guys, okay? And then you can do something like fill color and do some stuff with that, okay? So, but that'll give you basically a simple circle. But let's go ahead and comment that out, okay? Because it's basically doing the same thing that we already saw, just another shape. But the API gives you an easy way to draw circles. So what we want to draw, guys, is we want to start drawing this thing, okay? So here is the logo, and as you can see, there's 3 shapes to this, okay? So there's this shape right here, another shape, and the same shape that are just in different angles and a different color. And then we have another shape right here, the left side of the X. And then you have the right side of the X, okay? So let's zoom in a little bit. And that's pretty much all it is, okay? So it's 5 shapes, okay? So in that case, what we want to do is we want to use polygons, okay? And remember, polygons is the same way as doing the same thing as polyline options, except the polygon options allow us to fill in, and it'll auto-fill, it'll auto-complete it, okay? So here in this last step, like what we had to like finish off, we got to close it off. Well, if it was a polygon options, we wouldn't have to do this line of code right here because it would auto-fill for us, okay? So it would complete the line for us, okay? So that's one of the convenient things for polygons, because the API assumes if you're using polygons that you want it to be a region, okay? So it therefore fills it and completes it if you don't have a region set, okay? So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do polygon options, and we'll do shape 1, and then we'll do equals new polygon options. Polygon options, and then we're just going to add a whole bunch of latitude, longitude positions, okay? So we're going to do it right around the same place that we were drawing the rectangle, and we'll do 37.35. So this is going to be our first point, okay? That's going to be our very first point. All right. So let's go ahead and kind of look at this one more time. So if we start right here, okay, and then we want to come over here, so we want to go northeast, okay, so we want to go up north, and then east, and then you want to go southeast, right, and then you want to go southwest, okay, and then that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the API, the Polygon, remember, will auto-complete it for us right here, okay, and then we can start off over here for the next one and we can go east, and then we can go southeast, and then we can go just west, and then we can go northwest, okay? And then we're gonna do the same thing for this one, okay? And then we'll start in here, and we'll start right in the middle, okay? And then we'll go northwest, just go west. So we're kind of just, you know, just playing around with this and just looking at this. That's what I did, just kind of keep looking at it and kind of just playing around with it. And then finally fill the colors and then make it look all nice, okay? So the reason why I showed you guys that is so hopefully that can give you a clearer picture, okay, on what's kind of going on, okay? So here we're going to go up north, so we're going north, and then we're going to go over east, okay? So remember, northeast, all right? And no matter how much you go east is up to you. You can make it bigger or smaller. I mean, that's just the values, but what's going on is what is really important, okay, for you to understand just how to draw these little lines and all that stuff, okay? So 37.35, okay, so 35, and then 0.3, so we're still going east, okay? So then this third point, remember, is going from here to the second point to the third point is going southeast, okay? So that's why south is going to be 3.5, okay? So when the latitude gets smaller, it's going south. And notice that this first latitude and the third latitude are exactly the same, okay? Because latitude goes this way. So the fact that it's the same, it's at the same point right here, okay? So here's the first latitude. We go up 0.15, and then we come back down 0.15. So that's why these 2 points, latitude-wise, should be exactly the same, and they are, okay? Only the longitude will change, okay? So the longitude is different. So here, from this longitude, okay, to this longitude is 0.1 or 0.2, okay? So this is a longitude of 0.5, this one's a longitude of 0.3, so a 0.2 difference, okay? That's from here to here. Okay, so now if you want to come from, now we're right here on this third point, so we want to come down now, okay, and that's south. So so since we're moving south, we're going to want to once again lower the latitude, okay, and that will go south, and then we want to go west, okay, so we want to decrease the longitude, okay, and that'll take us west, okay, and then like I said, it'll autofill for us, and then we just do the same thing for these three, okay. So I'm just kind of trying to make sure that I'm explaining myself as I go along and not just typing in a whole bunch of numbers that may seem random if I don't thoroughly explain it. I know it would for me. So then -121.4, that's going to take us west. Okay? So that's our shape right there. And then what we can do is we can do shape 1.invoke fill color. Okay, so we want to fill it. We want to fill the entire shape to a certain color. Okay, and then we can import the Android graphics, and we'll do RGB, and you can make whatever color that you want for this, of course, but I'm just going to use these colors, 141. Okay, so that will fill the color, and then we can do the shape. We can do the we can invoke the stroke width. Okay, so stroke width. So it'll basically be a border if you don't specify this, and you can make it thicker by giving it a higher value. But I'm gonna give it 0. Okay, so otherwise it's saying to have no border. Okay, so I don't want any border. Okay, otherwise it would be like a black outline of it. Okay, and then finally we want to add polygon shape 1. Okay, and then before we start this again, let's remember we have a up here we have a camera that moves the camera, and what we want to do is change the latitude longitude to where we're working. That way we don't have to find it find our shape. Okay, so we'll do lat long, and then what was a good value, I guess, to give it 37.35, 37.35, and then negative 121.25. Okay, so that'll just move the camera where we're working. That way we don't gotta find our shape when we do run this. So what we should have right now is just this one shape right here. Okay, guys? And the other 4 shapes will need this one, this one, this one, this one will need to be drawn in as well, okay? All right, so there it is. So that's one of our shapes, guys, okay? So as you can see, it's pretty close to what we got over here. All right, so we're on the right track here, guys, just getting this in it. So we need this other one, then we need to fill the other one, then we just need to do a few other things right there, okay? So just for time's sake, I'm going to paste over the other 2, okay? That way, because it's basically the same concept, you're just kind of giving it different values, but it is the same concept. So I hope I thoroughly explained this one well enough for you to get these other 2. But that's going to give us these other 2 shapes right here, okay? And then finally, we'll of course want to do the same thing for these. And we'll do shape 2, shape 3. And then the colors are of course going to be different. This one's going to have this color, and this one's going to have this color. Okay, so we're just changing the colors on these other 2 shapes that we pasted in. Okay, and then now we need to draw in the X. Okay, the first part of the X. Okay, which is going to be this part right here. Okay, so we're going to want to start from the middle, and then we're going to want to come in. Remember the middle. This point right here is 1, 2, 3. So it's the 3rd point of the first shape. Okay, which is this right here. Okay, so that's where we're going to want to start off. Okay, so that's good. That's just a good starting point. I mean, for you, it may make sense to do it somewhere else, but for me, I kind of like look at that. I'm like, okay, it's going to be that exact same point. Okay, that's the very center of this logo. Okay, so we'll do new lat long, and like I said, it's going to just be the 3rd shape of the 3rd coordinate of the first shape. Okay, so we look at it again. We need to go northwest, then we need to go to west, and then we need to go southeast, then we need to go southwest, and then we just need to go east, and then that should fill it in for us. Okay, so what I'll do right here is go northwest. So we'll do 37. If we're going north, this has to be a higher number than the one previous before it. Okay, so 0.425 is higher. And if we're going to go west, we need a smaller number, which negative 121.35 is smaller than the previous coordinate. Okay. Now we just need to go directly west. Okay, so this is going to be, since it's directly west, we don't need to change the latitude, and we want to just change the longitude. 375. Okay, now remember we want to go, so now we're right here at this point, and we want to go southeast. Okay, so since we want to go south, we want to bring it down. We want to have a lower coordinate, lower latitude coordinate. And then since we want to go east, we want to have a higher longitude. Okay, and then now we're going to want to go south. So let's bring it back up. So now we want to go southwest, I'm sorry. So in that case, we'll need to come even farther down with a lower longitude. 275, negative 1, 2, 1. And since we're going to want to go west, we want a smaller number than the previous coordinate. And then finally, we simply just want to go east, okay? So we want to have the same latitude because we're just going left and right, east and west, okay? 2, 7, 5, and then since we're going east, we want to have a higher number than the previous coordinate, okay? 3, 7, 5, that should be a 3 actually. 3. We fix that. That's supposed to be a dot, not a comma. Okay. So now we just want to, we're going to want to add this to our map. That's going to be 3. That's going to be 2. And then we're going to have a 5 right now. Okay. So that's going to give our first half of the X right here, this guy. And then I'll go ahead and the other one is just a mirror, the flip of it, which is shape 5, okay, which you've added right here. And then of course, all we need to do right here, we're gonna want to do shape 4 dot invoke fill color, and we'll just do a white, okay? And we'll also do that for shape 5, invoke fill color, color dot white, and that should be it. Okay guys, so that should add it to our map, and we should have the logo now drawn on the Google map. Okay, let's go ahead and run it and make sure that I'm not lying to you, and it is there in fact. All right, so the it looks pretty good, but there are, it looks like this didn't fill the left side. Oops. The left side didn't fill, and it's that border is black. Okay, so just a few things that we haven't done yet. No problem at all. Okay, so it looks like we did it here, but we didn't. Well, we didn't do 4. We did 5 twice. That's why that didn't fill. And then all we really need to do here now is just do the invoke stroke color. Okay, and we'll make that white as well, so it's just all white. Do the same thing for the other half of the X. Fill stroke color. All right. So now that should fix the filling and then that border. Okay, so it's just a pure white. Let's see if that is good. All right, looks good. So there you guys have it. So there's the first shape that we drew, shape 2, shape 3, shape 4, and then shape 5. Okay, all drawn on, and I mean, just it's kind of pretty much just a way to just practice it and hopefully get more comfortable with drawing on the map with polygons and polylines. Okay, so that should just help you guys kind of get more familiar with it. I hope so. And like I said, there's pretty much, there's a lot of other stuff you can do with these. You can add a whole bunch of other colors and really make it your own, but hopefully that gets you started on drawing on the map and getting you more comfortable with polylines and polygons, especially because that's a lot of the bulk of what you'll be using when you're drawing on the Google map. Okay, so if you guys are having any trouble, of course, feel free to drop some comments below. Like the video if you do like it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps me build my channel. Really appreciate it. And of course, as always, thanks for watching, guys.